first thing we need to do now is prepare our directory where we've been working. We need to upgrade its lifestyle to being an NPM project directory. So I'm going to demonstrate. I'll go to my project directory where I was working, which is right here somewhere. Oh, by the way, another way you can find it, if you go to Studio, and if you just find any one of your files, right click and say Reveal in File Explorer. And then, I don't know, that's another quick way to find it. Or open an integrated terminal, I guess, because what I really need is a command prompt, so that does the same thing. All right, so now here is my project directory. First thing I have to do is npm init. Why? Because that creates a package.json file. And for the sake of this lab, well, not tremendously important, but what you could do, and I know several of you have the goal, right? You have the intention because you've told me about it and you've asked me for my advice. You want to get the programmer job. Well, having some good content on npmjs.com, you can link that in your resume and your LinkedIn profile. I think that'll be a good step up for you. So I will call it what was the healthy shopper, and it has to be unique. So if somebody else calls it this, you can't use it. You can call it Healthy Shopper 3 or something. Healthy Shopper grocery list manager, whatever. All right, so I'm going to call it that. You call it whatever you want. Can't contain capital letters. That's right, it can't. All right, so Healthy Shopper grocery list manager or app. Version, yeah, version is fine. If I were to release a future version of this and you did npm install, your npm environment would look at the version you have, and if the version on the server is higher, it would go and pull it up. So I'll just press enter to accept that. Description, this app, and I'm going to evolve this over the coming days of class. I'm actually going to, because tomorrow I'm supposed to talk to you about APIs, and the coolest application of API right now is ChatGPT. I'm going to show us how to sign up for ChatGPT APIs, and we can make, because we talked about model view controller, right? Well, yeah, we did. Don't shake your head. You were late. If you didn't hear me talk about this stuff, hold your hand up. And if your hand is up, take your other hand out and slap yourself really hard as a punishment. So what I was saying here is the basis of these applications. The view is Express. The model is MongoDB. The controller is classes, TypeScript, which is object-oriented JavaScript, or other classes which implement your business rules. Increasingly, that is being replaced by calls to an AI model. In fact, I'm totally sure that a good number of you, like half or more, quite a few young new graduates now, are going to get hired into jobs where you'll be trained to do that. You will take the traditional apps which have been running for 20, 30, 40 years, and the front end will stay the same because don't change your customer's front end. They don't like it. They get frightened. Your back end data, well, probably going to be migrated from SQL to JSON, but your controller is now going to be prompts to a large language model. And what it does is going to be based on the training data set. So anyway, as we talk about APIs tomorrow, I'll show you a little bit of that. All right, here. I don't know how I got into. Oh yeah, so my Healthy Shopper app. I don't know. I really have no clue about all the what if you're going to eat carrots, what should you eat with carrots to maximize your nutritional intake? Can you imagine? Are there any ladies in the room? Girls, cover your ears. I'm going to use some harsh language here. Can you imagine what a son of a bitch job that would be? What an unpleasant job that would be if I had to use if-then statements to code in all the rules of which foods mix with which other foods, all I need to do is send a prompt to the AI language model. It'll tell me. So the goal of this demo I'm doing is if somebody, well, what do you like? I don't know. I like carrots and green peppers. So then it can advise, right? So based on that, here could be a satisfying lunch with enough calories, with enough nutritional mix and all that stuff. So anyway, so this app will use AI to assist users their user to easily and affordably formulate healthy meal planning. Entry point. Now, whatever my file is called, my file is actually, and if I really wanted this to be a standalone application, I would have written that file differently. The purpose was to not really make it to be a standalone application. It was to teach you how to do Mongoose, but I didn't want to fold too many things together. The only purpose of this exercise is I just want you to have the experience. I want you to start doing npm publish, so by the time we get to the project, you're pretty familiar with it. So my entry package here will be the file I just worked on for my lab. You might call it something different. File underscore lab 2.js. And tomorrow I'll teach you how to formulate your files if you want to seriously make them work as plug-in standalone apps that other people can use. Hey, it's Peter in room C406. Some of my students are acting like they're getting ready to leave. They're not finished their assignment yet. Can you just close the electronic lock on the door? Yeah, I'll let you know when to open. Probably 11 or 11:30 or something. Thank you. Okay. All right, guys, if you're starting to get up, don't. Just sit down and relax. So test command, we're not, well, there's a very nice testing framework called Jest, but we'll get to that later. It's not on the course outline, but we'll sneak it in when nobody's looking. Git repository, you can add that later if you want. Keywords, this might be something somebody would search for if they were looking for your app. Author, or you can put your email or whatever. I'll stick with the M. I'm not going to talk about licensing right now. Maybe we'll talk about it later. Do whatever you want with licensing. I'll go with MIT, which means everybody is allowed to take my work and use it. They just have to attribute to me what they used of me. So now we'll click on click on enter to accept that. All right, pretty good. So I now, as a result of doing that, I'm not sure if Professor Janelle showed this to you yet. I don't think she did because this is kind of a new thing, this NPM application development. I just sort of got excited about it. So anyway, there is my package.json. And that is the definer. That's right, the configurator, the configuration of my app. All right, cool. Now, okay, here's the next thing you do. Pay attention. You're going to go and do npm publish, and it just occurred to me that I can't remember my password. I can't even remember my password for this. But you just set your password, so you should be good for doing it. So open a terminal again, and npm publish. Oh, I guess my credentials, because it didn't ask me for it. I guess because I did this in another class recently, so probably my password was already cached in there. So see, it said it published it to there. Now let's go and see what the URL is because I want you to tell me the URL. I want you to put it in a text file and upload it to me. So grab your, and by the way, it might take several minutes. It's not real time. It might take a minute or two before it's available. But grab your, you can select it right there to the terminal and just press Control C on the keyboard. Go to npmjs.com and search for your new package. There, look. Do you see? My thing is up there now with my description. Now, something we could have done, because it's late, we'll do it later. I could have put markdown language to give it a nicer, like a little, with a little bit of page, of a fancy formatting and bolding and all that. So if you want to use my app, which I admit isn't really a great app right now, I haven't done too much on it yet. But if I do npm, or if you do npm install, you will get my app. That's exciting in my opinion. That's really cool. All right, now here's what I want before you leave. Following the instruction in your lab book, I want you to open a text file. And I want you to follow this exact format. Why do I want this? Because I'm looking at ways when you guys submit your projects, it's actually a lot of work for the instructor. I'd like to make a semi-automated testing harness. So the test tool will look at sort of mechanical, structural things, and then just present it to Janella and I, and we could look at the aesthetics, coding style, and the sort of, the human touch elements of that. But I estimate this will probably reduce our marking time by about 50%. Even things like downloading each zip file and opening it, say, well, Peter, you're whining about nonsense. That's not that big a deal. Not really, you're right. But I mean, if you're doing it for 40 students and if you have 6 classes, it would be nice if you could shave down that time a little bit. So now here's what I want you to do. Open this text file and put in the name of your app, right? So I could go, or you could take mine and do npm install on it. And then I want you to take this formatting because my test harness is going to look at this. So it has to be in this exact format. And I want you to save the file as studentid.txt. So take my template formatting right there. And put your name. Don't put my name, right? Actually, last term I had a student, he handed it in, he actually put my name there. I was like, I already know who I am. You're supposed to put your name. So anyway, put your name, please. And then put your npm package name. So put that there. And this hashtag and the double hashtag, those are important, right? So just copy it directly out of your lab book and just have it so there's no blank spaces. So just tighten it up. Now save this as student ID. So file, save as, whatever, I don't have a student ID, so I'll make one up. Right, so that's my file. Now you're going to take this, you're going to go to this GitHub, this Dropbox location, and you're going to upload your file right to there. So add files, go and find the file which you just made. And just upload it. Now, I'm already signed into Dropbox. Students have told me after they've done this, Dropbox is telling them to create an account. They say, oh, do I have to do that? No, I mean, Dropbox is pretty cool, right? You can get a free account with 25 meg or something, which isn't bad. But you don't have to. That's just Dropbox trying to drum up business for themselves. So once you're finished this, you can take off. If you have any questions, you can ask me, and I have my video here.